This is one of the world's most widely studied modern cases of potential reincarnation memory. Over 55 details that Ryan provided were accurate, specific, matched Marty's life, and the majority of this information was not publicly available anywhere. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you... Wow. That was angelic.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Sabrina.
I just got so nervous.
Did you become a singer? Like, no, genuinely, I'm not. I'm not yanking your chain. Like, that sounded really good.
Thank you. That's really nice. Now I'm really like self-conscious.
I shouldn't have made a face, so you would have kept going. That feels like suddenly you have like a born secret talent that I'm discovering.
This is the thing is I'm not a terrible singer, but I'm only good at certain things, and then I'm not good at knowing when to come in.
That's so funny. I like that.
I really don't.
So you're like a comedy singer.
Sure.
The new Bo Burnham.
I'm hilarious. And we are
2 girls, 1 ghost.
2 girls, 1 ghost. We are your ghostesses. I am Sabrina. I almost said you are Corinne. Anyway, that's Corinne. I'm Sabrina.
You just got back from
a
lovely, spooky
so
city
much to share with you.
Across the pond.
So much to share with you. All of you. You want to hear the story about how I got haunted in Edinburgh, Scotland?
Yes. Which you already told on Patreon, and I feel like everyone was like, you were focused on telling the story, but I got to watch people's faces on the video as you were telling the story, and the amount of people that were just like jaw dropped or just like shaking their heads like, no, Sabrina, no.
Well, because as I will tell it, but there's so much of this that I'm like, oh, Corinne would be so disappointed in me. Okay, so as context, I went to Edinburgh, Scotland.
I'm just glad I wasn't there.
And it didn't happen to you. So I went to Edinburgh, Scotland, and it was amazing. So much fun. I do have to recommend the place that I stayed real quick because 33 Castle Terrace, you know, like when you travel places and you want to feel like you live there, but sometimes when you stay in a hotel, you don't feel like you live there.
Yeah.
This place, I felt like I had my own apartment in Edinburgh.
Oh my gosh, so nice.
That I was like, maybe I do want to live here. It was so nice.
You used to talk about doing some time over there.
But right now in my life, after all of the travel and like how busy we've been for the last like year,
it feels.
I'm like, I have not spent a full week at home.
Yeah.
Since before August.
Which is wild. Maybe you could do like a mini snowbird where it's like every year for the month of September or something. You go to Scotland.
Edinburgh. I'd have to be able to take Leo with me. But anyway, okay. So I obviously booked ghost tours, and I booked this one with the company City of the Dead. I highly recommend it. It is one of the best ghost tours I've ever been on because they really focus on the ghost stories. They take you, it's so immersive, but it's so cinematic too. And not cheesy cinematic, just the storytelling.
Oh.
The guide was next level.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I do feel like we love going on ghost tours, but ghost tours can be a similar thing to just like seeking out a random psychic or something where it's just like...
Right. It could be cheesy or it could be phony, but this felt so... And it was clear, shout out to Sarah, who was my tour guide. It's so clear that she was so immersed and curious and interested in Edinburgh history that she had gone and done her own research to bring in her own anecdotes into the stories. Anyway, that being said, I did the Double Dead tour, you go through the Edinburgh vaults, which are infamously haunted, and then you double decker. No, you double it up. You double it up and you go over to the other most haunted place in Edinburgh, Greyfriars Kirkyard.
Yeah, which we did an episode on. And I feel like we've referenced a few times.
And it haunted me.
Yeah, that's where you went wrong.
That's where my grave mistake. Literally, grave mistakes. Wow. It was a grave mistake.
Fire today, Sabrina.
And that I just had my first sip of coffee on camera. You saw it happen. Let me take my second. Watch out, everyone.
God.
Okay, so then, yes, we went over to Greyfriars Kirkyard second. Nothing really happened on the tour. When we went into the vaults, a girl had to leave. She instantly got lightheaded and had to leave. They escorted her out. We go through the vaults. And I don't think we went to the same vaults that other tours go to, because there's one vault that people kept being like, oh my God, did you step inside the witch's circle? And we didn't go into a vault that had a witch's circle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder, what is the witch's circle?
I think we've read a listener story about it before, where there's like all these candles and you're not supposed to step inside.
Oh, we read this recently, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. It's coming back.
But so that we didn't, because there's a lot of different vaults in the Edinburgh vaults. Our tour went into like 3 of how many? I don't know. And then we walk over to Greyfriars Kirkyard. We do the whole thing. And interesting fact, Bloody Mackenzie's mausoleum is not the one that's haunted. The hauntings occurred once someone did break into Bloody Mackenzie's mausoleum. But the one that is haunted is actually behind a locked gate that is now locked because of all the hauntings that were happening and how many people were trying to like go see it.
Instigate and summon the dead.
That being said, Bloody Mackenzie's mausoleum does cause hauntings, and I can attest to it personally. So we're walking around, we're getting all these great ghost stories, and we're wrapping up the tour, and our tour guide's like, oh, let's just go stop by Bloody Mackenzie's mausoleum. There was another group finishing up. We go over there, and she's talking about it, and she goes, does anyone want to play a game? No hesitation. The word sure comes out of my mouth. Casual. And
you're alone, too. Like,
I'm on this tour completely alone. I know no one. I'm staying in Edinburgh by myself. Yeah, I have to go to bed by myself, like, solo. And I'd say, sure. She, like, looks at me and she's like, okay, come on up here. And she hands me a flashlight and she says, shine this through the grates and look inside the mausoleum. And then repeat after me. The first word she says is repeat Bloody Mackenzie 3 times. And before I even say it, I like in my head, the first thought I have is, oh God, Corinne's going to be so mad at me. And then the second is, should I really be doing this? And the third thought is, well, it's too late. I'm already here. I got to give the people a show. Because there's like 25 other people on the tour.
Right, it feels awkward to back out.
Yeah, I'm not going to be like, chicken. I'm not chicken shit.
I am.
Peer pressure is real. Actually, no one was pressuring me.
Right. But you're performing
an audience
against the expectations you believed others had for you, these strangers. Amongst you.
And so then...
You must please the people.
Of course. I'm a jester. I'm a performer. So in my head, I'm like, okay, this is a dumb idea, but I have good intentions. So as I'm saying, I'm repeating it over and over. As I'm saying it, I'm in my head saying... I don't mean this, haha, it's a joke, like good intention, no negative entities can come with me. You know, I'm setting my boundaries while I'm saying the things that are very much anti my boundaries. And I basically out loud say this poem that's like a game that people do to invite Bloody Mackenzie, his spirit, to come out of the mausoleum and haunt you. It's like show yourself. It literally is Bloody Mary.
Right.
With Bloody Mackenzie. Nothing happens in the moment. Totally fine. The tour ends. Sarah's like, good luck, Sabrina. Then 2 girls come up to me and they're like, are you Sabrina from 2 Girls, One Ghost? They had been on the tour with me the entire time. Shout out to the band Spanish Love Songs. They were on tour.
Oh my gosh.
And stopped in Edinburgh and did some spooky things, happened to be on the same tour. And I loved on Campfire Stories, everyone's like, those people were probably like, is that Sabrina from 2 Girls, One Ghost? And then I went up to do like, the Bloody Mackenzie.
To get like possessed. Yeah, that's definitely Sabrina from 2 Girls, One Ghost.
And I think I said to them, I was like, Corinne's going to be so mad that I just did that.
Oh my gosh, because you're tempting fate.
And I tempted fate.
And like at a place that has a reputation. It's not just like, oh, like some random New Hampshire cemetery that like 5 locals, not to like diss on.
No,
on
you
this,
guys,
but like 5 locals had something happen. Like,
this is like every arguably
night
the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Yes.
Paranormally. I've done a lot of other dumb things in life. But paranormally, yes. Nothing happens. I'm totally fine. I'm walking home. It's now like 11:30. And again, I'm like just setting intentions like, hey, shake it off. I truly outside of my hotel room shook it off. I was like, nothing is welcome. I'm protected by love and light. I set my intentions, all this stuff. Go into my hotel room, turn on Gilmore Girls. I'm good. I fall asleep. Again, like I went to bed like not thinking about it. So I go to sleep and I have a nightmare. And it's like truly a 2-second nightmare. I'm walking down the streets of what I presume are old Edinburgh, like the closes. And people are moving out of the way. And I get this feeling that down the way, like as people are clearing, there's someone standing staring at me. And when I look, it's this like very, very unsettling, scary person, but their face is melty and they kind of look like haggard and bent over. And even though I can't see their eyes, they are directly staring into my soul.
Which is so creepy.
It's so unsettling. I wake up and I'm like, nope, didn't like that. Like I out loud said, nope, didn't like that. You're not welcome here. And it's 4:15 or 4:20, something like that. And I'm like, okay, that was weird, but just a bad dream. I flip over, I lay on my stomach, like literally like flat on the bed. All of my limbs are together. I'm like a needle in a bed, face in the pillow, trying to fall back to sleep. I'm still very awake. When I start to feel, also keep in mind the covers are completely on me. When I start to feel, hold my coffee, please. When I start to feel like what are hands around my ankles pulling my legs apart. And my legs are actually moving apart. And I don't like it. Who would? And so I start to like try to move. I cannot move any part of my body. I am fully paralyzed. And this is the first time I've ever had sleep paralysis. So my first thought is, I'm having fucking sleep paralysis. Don't like it. And so in my head, I'm saying, no, 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 no. And I'm finally out loud able to verbally say no. And it stops. And then I instantly like slam my legs back together.
I don't think I remember the detail if you slamming your legs back together.
Oh, yeah, because I had been trying to, like, the energy of me saying no, no, no was me also trying to, like, close my legs.
Yeah.
Because it does.
So when it finally released you, you were
able to, like, bam. Yeah. I think I, like, fully got up and I was like, no!
The people in the room next door are like, that girl traveling solo is
crazy.
Weird. Did you see her on the tour earlier? Which I did ask you on Campfire Stories because I was like, oh my gosh, this seems like a
incubus.
Yeah, like a sexual
sounds like a sexual movement.
But you said that it didn't feel that way.
It didn't feel that way. I genuinely think it was whatever it was. I don't necessarily think it was Bloody Mackenzie. I think it was probably an entity at the cemetery that was like, you dumb, dumb girl, let me show you what I can do. I think it was just like something it could do because I was laying on my stomach. So it's not like because if I was laying on my back, would I have seen something? And that would have been enough.
Oh, God,
you know?
I hate that. Ew.
Right.
Oh, my gosh, it's so disturbing.
But I was laying on my stomach face down, so I couldn't see anything in the room.
It's like, what if it was the guy with the melted face?
Ugh.
It seems like it would be, but like if that's how he presented himself in the room, physically there with you, who do you think it was?
I think it was just something from the cemetery. But here's the thing is I never had anything else happen. For the rest of the trip, it was totally fine. Nothing else happened.
And you stayed another night in that hotel, right?
I stayed multiple other nights there.
Yeah.
And I even was in Edinburgh on Halloween. Nothing happened. It was totally fine. But I understand how entities or even demonic encounters or people like the Smurl family or the Hinsdale house, like I understand how these entities gain energy and don't even have to do much because just that one experience, which is probably no more than a 2-minute experience in total, I, every night before going to sleep, was scared to fall asleep because I didn't want that to happen again. And then it would happen. It would pop in my brain and be like, no, you can't think about this before you're going to bed because like then it's going to.
Right, because then you're
thinking about it and you're summoning it.
And then it's hard to not just like repeat it. It's like an intrusive thought, basically.
Yeah. And it's a scary intrusive thought.
But it's also so scary because it's like, yeah, it was a 2-minute experience, but that thing in 2 minutes proved that it could be in your dreams and it could be physically in your room with you.
And paralyze me.
It was like, I have you everywhere. You can't escape. You're asleep. You're awake. I'm here with you.
It's not with me anymore.
Yeah, thank God.
But yeah, so.
It's just a one-night thing until the next person plays the game.
Yeah, so when we say don't do stupid paranormal things, Sabrina, listen to yourself.
Do you judge me less for my reluctance to play paranormal games after?
No. Would I do it again? Yes.
No. Oh my gosh.
There was like a 12 or 13-year-old girl who I loved her because she dressed very like Blair Waldorf, but she had dragged her dad there and she was jealous that I got to do that game. And she's like, I want to do it now. And the tour guide was like, I don't feel comfortable allowing you to do
like
it.
A child.
It's like, if you want to stay afterwards with your dad and do it, fine. But I can't approve of this.
Don't let your preteens and your teenagers summon the
Bloody
devil.
Mackenzie.
Or Bloody Mackenzie. Jesus.
Scariest thing that's happened to me in a very, very long time.
Yeah. So all the listeners can probably, I bet everyone's mouths were agape, just like everyone on Campfire Stories. They were like, what the fuck did you do?
My grave mistake.
At Greyfriars Kirkyard. Damn. Crazy.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you had a great trip.
It was amazing. I loved it. And then I went to York, which we recorded a whole episode while I was there. But that town is my favorite. And I don't love London.
Yeah.
I love the sweatshirt I got from London. Did you get
a sweatshirt from each place?
I didn't from York, but I did from Edinburgh, and I did from London.
Nice. That's one of Sabrina's things. She buys
it's
a sweatshirt
a toxic trait.
Everywhere she is that says the place. It's like
I'll be in an airport, a layover, and I see they get me. I see the sweatshirt.
Have you stepped foot outside of the airport there? No, but are you buying
and I'm like,
sweatshirt to indicate you've been
I might need that. I might need it.
I told you I have a 60-second ghost story. It does not compare to that at all. But I think that there's a spirit afoot in my house.
We knew that.
Because, yeah, but there's like a new one? Oh, I don't know. I just had 2 things that happened in the past couple days. Noah and I were playing with his farm truck, and it has a bunch of, like, if you press the different animals, they make different noises. If you press Old MacDonald, he sings, "Oh, MacDonald, have farm." And if you press the smokestack on the tractor, it will start moving. And Noah knows to do all of that. And so we're, like, taking turns doing it. And it's between us, and Noah's just like pressing on the animals. And then something presses the smokestack and it starts going.
Oh,
and Noah just like stopped and looked at me like,
how'd that happen?
What? Like, are you seeing this? And then I didn't want to scare him. So it's just like, oh, and I like touched Old MacDonald so he'd start singing as the tractor went by. And then the next night when I was in Noah's room, he's sleeping on me and I'm going to like put him back in his crib. The second the clock turns 3 a.m., the humidifier button keeps getting turned on and off, on and off.
Oh, I don't like that.
And it just keeps happening, but it's not like not at a normal rhythm.
So it's not like a cadence,
Yes, because at first I was like, oh, did I accidentally set a timer? Is there like something happening to it?
It's like something pressing it and then deciding to press it again.
Then, yeah, no rhyme or reason, but it was pressed on and off probably like 8 or 9 times. And then last night, this is not related to me, but last night I got a text message from my old roommate, Jill from HR, who also has a young child. She said, I just walked into my living room to turn down the lights at 11 p.m. and my daughter's DJ table started going off.
I love the idea of a DJ ghost. Just like a random DJ who's like going from house to house being like, let me lay down some beats.
Well, I have, I think, kind of a feel-good episode.
Oh, great way to start off December.
Don't get possessed at Greyfriars Kirkyard like Sabrina. And join me for a more positive tale.
Okay.
Marty Martyn was a guy with an American dream.
That's his full name?
Marty Martyn. Yeah, well, it was like his actor name that I'll tell you his full legal name in a second. So Marty Martyn, he was born May 19th, 1903 as Morris Kolinsky in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His parents had recently immigrated to the U.S. from Ukraine, and it was he and his 2 sisters. One of his sisters died, unfortunately, in youth. But there they are in America, being raised, and Marty has some big dreams. In the 1920s, Marty moved to New York City and made it on Broadway, tap dancing on stage. So this guy is like, he's got talent. He already is on stage. But he's a performer. He's a performer.
So he would have done what I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his sister did, but I love that his surviving sister moved with him to New York City.
Yeah, that's
so it's like
sweet.
the little siblings go off from Philly to the big city to make it. So he makes it in theater, but his dreams go beyond the theater, beyond tap dancing on Broadway, because Marty wants to be a movie star. And this is the era of old Hollywood. This is like the beginning of old Hollywood in films. So he eventually makes his way to Los Angeles. And while tap dancing was a dream that came to fruition, I don't know how easy, but like he made it. Being a Hollywood actor did not come so easily. So his acting career just really never took off. He mostly was an extra in all of the films.
It's difficult.
It is difficult. But he still had this love for films. And so Marty was like, okay, I need to find a way to make it in Hollywood in another avenue other than being an actor. So he decided to open up his own talent agency, the Marty Martyn Agency. And after years
I'm such a sicko.
Oh, you thought porn?
I thought smut films, yeah.
Was porn a thing back then?
Yeah, for sure. Hasn't it always been? Like I'm thinking about Jessica Lange in American Horror Stories. Is it whatever the circus one is. And
Freak show.
And she's like, it's 1930, Germany. Something wasn't cutting it anymore. And then she like does smut films and they like, cut off her legs in them. Anyway.
Yeah.
No, he went talent agency route.
Yeah, so he decided to be an agent instead.
This is a heartwarming episode, Sabrina.
So I think it did take him a few years to like kind of make his mark in the agency world. But he did soon become pretty successful and wealthy. And he was a man about town. You know, people knew who he was.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up purchasing a large home on Roxbury Drive in Beverly Hills.
Ooh, fancy.
He had this big swimming pool, so he spent his time swimming in his pool, heading to the beach, schmoozing people in Hollywood over some really good Chinese food. That was like his preferred.
I love that. Over Chinese food.
Yeah. And he also liked to travel. So he traveled a lot back to New York City, which is, I think, you know, where he still had a lot of friends and a life there. But he also sailed on the Queen Mary numerous times. I think it was 4 times total to visit Paris when his sister was living in Paris. So he'd hop on the Queen Mary.
His life sounds dreamy.
Right? Old Hollywood. It really is.
Yeah.
He had quite a few children, both biological and stepchildren. And I would like to say that he spent time with his children. I'm not so sure if that's true.
Okay.
But he was a guy who like romanticized life, right? I feel like
he was tap dancing through life.
He was tap dancing through life. In a way, I feel like to make it in Hollywood, you kind of have to romanticize things and just like be okay with constant rejection and just
honestly, to make it through life, you kind of have to romanticize things.
Yeah. Totally. So yeah, he romanticized life. He definitely had this idea of like what his life could be like in Hollywood. And he also believed in love. He got married. Then he got divorced. Then he got married again. And then he got divorced. And then he got married again. And then he got divorced.
How many times?
And then he got married again.
Oh my God.
4 marriages. 4 marriages. Because he was a hopeful guy, right? He had big dreams.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
It will work out a different time.
If you fail, try again. In Hollywood, in romance, business, marriage, it's the same.
Right? Marriage is a business. We are, yeah. Okay, if you are not sure what to get your family for Christmas, we have a last minute lifesaver.
Truly year round, you could use this as like a, you know, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthday
I would be
gifts,
so happy to get this.
Like, yes.
Someone who bought a new house.
Aura frames. Aura frames are so beautiful. You can like choose your frame and what aesthetic you want. And then you simply upload photos to this frame.
You download an app and then you can upload everything to the app. So easy.
You can invite other people to the app too. So like last year we got this for my grandparents for Christmas. And everyone has access and we just like upload all of the photos onto the frame.
Or
it is really nice.
If you're like me and you just want to make a really cool gallery wall that kind of seems like it's alive.
Oh.
Get a bunch of Aura frames and then have them like moving photos.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's very cool. For a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames. It's named #1 by Wirecutter, and you can do this by using the promo code TGOG at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code TGOG. And this deal is exclusive to listeners, and the frames sell out fast.
Yes, they do.
So order yours now to get in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Unfortunately for Marty, at just 61 years old, after a battle with leukemia, Marty suffered a cerebral hemorrhage and he passed away.
Oh.
His legacy in old Hollywood left with him at his grave until one day when Marty woke up again. Not in his grave, but in a little boy living in the 21st century.
Wait, so Marty is among us?
Marty's among us. Marty was born in 2004.
Marty's a Gen Z.
Marty is even Gen Z. What's the one below it? I guess it's Gen Z. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
Like Alpha sounds scary.
We should be scared of them.
Yeah.
Millennials are like...
We're becoming such like old. We're becoming boomers.
No, because boomers are the ones... But like, no offense to boomers. We know a lot of boomers. Our parents are boomers and stuff. But I feel like boomers are the ones that are like... Millennials, like, you know, they find a problem with the other generations. Millennials are the generation that fold. And we're just like afraid of every other generation. It's just like, just leave us alone.
We won't answer our doors and we're going to get bullied by other generations.
You want to say that we're idiots? Okay, we're idiots. Now stop talking to me. Yeah, I know. I feel like we just take it. Millennials take it. We don't fight for ourselves. We've been through too much. Okay, so Marty Martyn was born now, once more, in 2004 as Ryan Hammons, a young boy from Oklahoma who, around age 4, started telling his mom that he believed he used to be someone else.
We haven't done a good reincarnation episode in so long.
I know. And I had this slated for sometime next year, but I was like, I gotta bring it up.
This is a good into the holiday season.
Yeah, it is.
Because I have a scary story next week.
Okay. But in a way, this is kind of like a miracle, you know? Like
it is.
It is feel good. It is. There's something Christmassy about it. Okay, so he said that he believed he was someone else, someone with a glamorous life in old Hollywood with a different family and a death that he remembered vividly.
Oh.
This is one of the world's most widely studied modern cases of potential reincarnation memory. And no matter what your belief system is, Ryan's story has a way of leaving people feeling befuddled. He remembers a lot of facts, and I'm actually going to read a good amount of them. So this one's for the skeptics. Let us know how you feel.
How do you explain this?
No, but I wrote, this one's for the skeptics, one for people looking for belief in something more, or just to experience the joy and wonder of getting lost in a story that feels so miraculous and so otherworldly.
My coffee just tasted like Chinese food, and I think it's because like I mentally am now thinking about Chinese food
that feels like a superpower, like a secret talent.
But I didn't like it.
Oh.
Like I didn't want my coffee to taste like Chinese food.
So Ryan Hammons was a happy, ordinary kid growing up in Oklahoma. Nothing unusual in the beginning of his life. No Hollywood connections, no obsession with old movies, nothing that could possibly indicate the direction in which Ryan's memories would start to unfold.
Plus, Marty Martyn's not famous by any means. Like, I've never heard of Marty Martyn before this. So it's not like, oh, he saw James Dean on TV and was like, oh, that was me in a past life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was an extra.
He was
in like a couple movies.
A tap dancer on
And
Broadway.
then otherwise, he just was an agent.
Right.
You know, like he wasn't, there's not films about this guy.
Right.
So Ryan's parents were middle class. They were religious. They were very grounded. It seemed by the description of them that they were most likely not listeners of Two Girls, One Ghost, nor seeking out paranormal stories like we share. But just after turning 4 years old, Ryan began waking up in the middle of the night with these really intense nightmares. Each night he would start to like dread going to sleep. It was really tough for him. And then he'd wake up just like crying and telling his mom he has a secret to tell her, but she can't tell anyone. And he's like, you can't even tell Dad, okay? She's like, okay. And Ryan says, I think I used to be somebody else. And he's 4.
He's 4, which is also the age that a lot of children
have these memories.
Yeah.
Every night, Ryan started to tell his mom the stories, more and more memories that he had, memories from his past. And his mom said that it basically felt like living with someone with Alzheimer's, like when sundowners comes. Because she said every night around bath time and bedtime, he suddenly would just like, it wasn't like a trance. It was just like he was overwhelmed and overcome with all these new memories. It was like a whole nother life was flooding him.
Well, it is wild. I mean, could you imagine being conscious of your past life, but being stuck in the body of a child where you don't have autonomy, you don't have the ability to be who you think you are?
Right. And where you were used to living, Los Angeles or New York City, now you're in Oklahoma, like even your scenery around you is just so
very
different from what you were used to. Yeah. So very scary. So as he would take a bath and his mom would like get him ready for bed, this was something that she would openly and like willingly participate in. She would ask him about his memories. They would talk about it. It seemed to help him. And other people might think that this is just like a childhood imagination, right? Like he's really getting creative with these stories. He's going to be a great storyteller. But for Ryan's mom, she was like, I knew right away that this was different because his language, like his vocabulary would change when he was telling these stories. He would cry. He would say he wanted to go back home, meaning Hollywood, a place which he'd never been, by the way.
Right.
And then he kept adding really specific details. And this went on for years. Like 4 years.
Till he was 8.
Till he was 8. Around 8. Yeah.
Okay, wait, sorry. I know that the story will continue, but do you think he will meet one of his past wives from his past life in this life? And it will be like their chance to like actually fully be together forever?
I don't know.
It will work this time?
Maybe.
Or
part of me was like, well, like what? It was a horrible marriage. I don't want them to have to like.
Well, he had 4 to pick from.
I mean,
one
like,
of them,
none of them were good. I don't know.
That's true.
I don't want to wish that. I don't know details about their romantic relationships. I won't wish that upon Ryan, who
I wish him happiness.
Is only how old is he now? Oh,
20,
he's 21.
congratulations, here's a shot. Let's just send a bottle of whiskey to Ryan Hammons.
Okay, so this is going on for years. He keeps recalling these memories. His mom is writing them down, and he just keeps like coming up with more and more specific memories. So a few things he said. The Hollywood home he asked to return to, it had a street name. He remembered it had the word rock in it, which, if you remember, Marty Martyn lived on Roxbury Drive.
Wow.
He talked about dancing on Broadway in the 1920s. He spoke about traveling the world. He said he owned a big house with a swimming pool. He remembered his time working in the film industry, acting alongside Mae West.
So it's like literally every detail.
Mm-hmm. Drinking with Rita Hayworth.
What a flex, drinking with Rita Hayworth.
Right? And then there were a couple of memories where it was like talking about that Mary girl, which was like Marilyn Monroe, and about how like no one could get close to her because she was so popular. Everyone wanted to talk to her. And like,
and
one
also,
time
who was she really? Could you really get close to the real Marilyn?
Right. And then he was trying to talk to her one time, and he like nearly got beat up. And it was just like all this other stuff. Then he talked about his other mama. He talked about the 3 children he had.
Oh.
He said when he died, his heart exploded, which, you know, like his heart didn't actually explode, but in a way, like
when you die,
his brain had an explosion basically that stopped his heart. And these were just some of the random bits that he shared. I'll share a lot more soon. But this was just so far beyond a child's imagination, creating and crafting a story, because as he told these memories, his mom was like, he was so grief-filled. Like it was not just like some random account. Like you could feel that his soul was feeling it. And so Ryan's parents are not sure what to do. And Ryan's dad, by the way, is a police officer. And he was like, I have investigated and interrogated so many people, right, in my line of work. And he was like, obviously, Ryan's my kid, so I want to believe him.
So I can tell my son is telling the truth.
Right. Yeah. So he's like, you know, like you want to believe your kid by default. He's like, but the way that he tells it, his body language, the way his eyes are shifting, like all that stuff that you would learn to look for. He was like, it just so like totally seemed truthful the whole time.
Because it's one thing too for a kid to, you know, have an active imagination and spin a story, like a one-time story. But this is happening night after night. This is happening for 4 full years.
Yeah.
Right. It's more.
It is. And I also feel like it goes beyond. Like, I feel like if you're encouraging a kid, or like sometimes they can like very quickly start spinning tales and it gets wild and wild. But it doesn't seem to be that for Ryan. It's like, if he doesn't remember something, he'll be like, oh, I don't know. And then like maybe a year later, like one small extra detail will come to him. Like it just feels so authentic.
This is wild.
I know.
This reminds me so much of my favorite listener story we've ever read.
We met her.
I know. Literally, we were fangirling. We're like,
famous.
You? Is it Elsie or Elise?
I think it's Elise.
I think it's Elise too, but
it was a really amazing past life story that listener, a mother, sent in about her daughter.
Oh yeah, Elise. And we read it in multiple episodes. Let's see. We read it first on Encounters 137. We also read it on a Patreon bonus. And I think we read it again. Because we were like, wait, we love this. It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cindy, who is Ryan's mom, her name's Cindy, she doesn't entirely know what to do for Ryan because he just like night after night feels plagued by these memories. Mm-hmm. She's listening to him. She's conversating with him. She's trying, but she feels like she needs to do something more. And so she starts taking out books on old Hollywood and will like sit with Ryan and flip through the pages and try to like learn about old Hollywood. Maybe this will like do something for his soul or satiate something in him that like he needs. One day while reading a book about old Hollywood, it was specifically about the Mae West film Night After Night, Cindy is flipping through black and white photos, actors from the 1930s and 40s who are not household names today. Most people wouldn't know the majority of the actors in this film.
Yeah.
And then Ryan suddenly and excitedly exclaimed, "I found me."
Oh my God.
He points to a man who is not one of the Hollywood actors. In fact, this man is not named in the book. The book lists him as a Hollywood extra. So now they have a photo, but they don't have the name because Ryan couldn't remember his name.
Well, especially because he didn't go by his actual birth name either, you know?
Right. And I have, if you're watching on YouTube, I have some like photos. I showed this photo earlier in the episode, but like look at him cheesing. Oh, just a happy guy. He's so sweet. I watched there was like an NBC special on him. They did like some media circuit
I
stuff.
am so curious because I'm just thinking about as a teenager, like how embarrassed was he by the story, or how much did he not want? Like, because I'm sure he got to a point in life where he didn't remember those things anymore.
He did, yeah.
But his story has been shared with so many people and it's been so researched. Like, was there a phase of life where he was just like, stop talking about it, Mom?
I don't know. I feel like it depends on your own personality and like the upbringing you had.
You either embrace it or you...
Because I feel like my upbringing, it would have always been like, yeah, that was so freaking cool. But I also grew up in a haunted home.
That's true.
It was ever present conversation.
But it's hard because, and I think this is a tough thing that people have with reincarnation just generally. It's this idea that then your own life isn't really your own and that like you aren't your own individual soul that you, which I believe in universal consciousness, which also, if anyone's watching you should watch it, the new Apple show, Pluberous.
Yeah, yes. Brian and I are watching.
It's so
pluribus. Whatever.
You made it really hard to say.
Yeah, it's from the guy who created Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. The woman from Better Call Saul,
is the main
actress, and it's so good. It's about this like
alien disease.
Yes, which like creates a universal consciousness where everyone is fully connected, but there's certain individuals, just like a handful,
like 10,
that don't get affected across the entire world. And one of them ends up being the most cynical people in the world, and like now she has to find a way to save humanity.
Yeah. It's so good. But it is this idea of like, so they are all basically universal consciousness. So there's no individuality. There's no making decisions for yourself.
Right. And that's kind of like one of the themes, because she had it's not going to spoil anything, but like she plus a couple of the other people that weren't affected have these conversations in the show where like some of them are like, well, why is this a bad? Because she's like, we have to save humanity. And they're like, why is this a bad thing? There's no war. No one's fighting. Hungry. Like, everyone works together. Like, we finally have world peace.
Right.
But she's like, but at what expense?
Right. We've lost all humans, like persons. But so like with this, I wonder how much it would influence your life in terms of decisions you make for yourself or how you feel about yourself.
I'm glad you asked that, because I think it's like the last line I wrote in this episode. You'll hear a small answer to that.
Okay.
Okay, so Ryan finds himself the man listed as a Hollywood extra. So Cindy's like, we have the biggest clue we've had so far. I need to do some real digging. So Cindy goes into research mode. She's looking for clues from the book. She's got the information that Ryan has told her. And soon she learns the real name of this man. His name is Marty Martyn, a former movie extra turned Hollywood agent. He danced in the film Night After Night, which is why he was in that book. Wow. He worked on Broadway, he traveled to Paris, and later he became a powerful studio agent. So many facts about Marty Martyn's life matched perfectly with details that Ryan shared from his past.
Right, that's the wild part, is because it could have been like, oh, that's me, and then the details didn't match up, and it's like, okay, moving on. But no, it's like everything.
Right. Like the Roxbury, like, oh, I lived on a street that had rock in it and a big house with a pool.
Like his family.
In Hollywood.
Literally everything. Detail.
Most of the details Ryan recalled, because there were dozens of facts that he, over the years, had shared, were not even on the internet at the time. Using other researchers and experts and stuff and doing some real digging, they found old documents that weren't readily available anywhere on the internet.
Right.
And realized that everything was matching.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the Hammons family eventually sought help from Dr. Jim Tucker, a University of Virginia psychiatrist known for studying children with past life memories. And I think that we've talked about him before because he is one of the really big names. So I think in some of the modern day cases, we've covered a few in the past. I think that he also was working with them.
He's the reincarnation guy?
He's the reincarnation guy. So he trained under the late Dr. Ian Stevenson, who spent decades cataloging thousands of cases worldwide. And at the University of Virginia, where Dr. Jim Tucker is working, he works in the Division of Perceptual Studies, and they're studying past life memories. And what makes it so unique is that in these studies, these cases that they study are not to prove anything, but to methodically document what can't be explained away.
Which is, in some way, proving something.
Right.
Because you're proving that what we know isn't all that we know.
Yeah. But I like the approach, too, because they're not like, you can't come at someone who's like, well, I'm not trying to prove reincarnation. I'm just literally listing all of the facts that can't be explained and collecting data that way to group together. What that will equate to in the future when we eventually crack the code, who knows?
We don't know.
So in the over 2,500 cases studied at UVA, here are some of the key characteristics that pop up time and time again in these past life cases. Memories begin around ages 2 to 4. So 4 for Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Memories fade around age 6 to 7. It was around 8 for Ryan. Children recall traumatic deaths more frequently. Names, places, occupations, and family structures are remembered with surprising detail. Many children express grief for their other family, which definitely happened. He was talking a lot about his other mama. And verified correspondences often match people who died abruptly. So for Ryan, all of this was true for his case.
That's interesting. Like an abrupt death means that you're more likely to recall your past life in your future life. Because you
don't have closure.
Which is similar to like why people say ghosts exist, like this lingering unfinished business. But
until 50 years later, they get plucked and planted into a little boy.
So interesting.
In Oklahoma, 2004.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about it. Marty Martyn could have just been haunting a place for 50 years.
Right. Or just like lost in the ether.
Yeah.
Which also is very sad.
Oh, it is very sad.
Did I tell you my new theory about residual hauntings?
No.
So the other day, I don't even know, I was just driving and I was thinking, and like my brain randomly went back to this moment from like when I was like 14. And I was like, what if, because I just thought about it, if someone's in that room that like where it happened, there's a haunting that happens. Because it's a traumatic thing that I was thinking about, which I've done a lot of therapy on, so I don't think about it often anymore. But like, what if a residual haunting is when the living person recalls that memory, the like energy that was left there is like triggered.
Comes alive again because it's still attached to you.
Right.
Oh, that's so interesting. It's very creepy.
Well, I'm not saying it is or isn't. It's a hypothesis out there in the world for you now.
I like that. Here's the thing. Everything could be true.
And nothing could be true.
Mm-hmm.
We could be not real. Figments of your imagination. You're actually crazy.
All right, so Dr. Tucker, he's brought in, he meets Ryan, he interviews Ryan's family, and he investigates all of the claims that Ryan's making. So I'm going to go through like a bunch more of the things that he said, but like, for example, some of the things that were verified, Ryan said he danced in New York, Marty performed on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan said he had a big house with a pool, Marty had a stately Beverly Hills home.
Okay, bragging.
The street, Roxbury Drive.
Yeah.
Ryan stated he had 3 sons. He actually had 3 kids, a daughter, and then I think 2 sons.
Does that say something about Marty? He always wanted all sons.
Yeah, but then like in the whole investigation, they actually realized that Ryan had actually said he had 3 kids. He never said sons, but his own parents had just assumed sons and had repeated that he had 3 sons.
Okay.
So Ryan actually didn't say that. And then plus he had a bunch of stepkids because he was married a million times.
Yeah. Ryan
talked about traveling to Paris. Marty traveled to Paris on the Queen Mary. Ryan said he died when his heart exploded. He had a cerebral hemorrhage, which stopped his heart, and he died. Ryan said he worked for people and made lots of money and that he worked for an agency. Marty became a successful Hollywood agent representing old Hollywood stars. Ryan said he died at age 61.
Which he died at 61.
Marty's death certificate said that he died at age 59.
But he actually
They got in contact with Marty Martyn's daughter. She said, "Oh, the death certificate is wrong. My father died at age 61.
Chills.
Right? So Ryan's memory
so they even talked to Marty's
against historical records.
But they also talked to Marty's daughter.
Yeah.
Did Marty's daughter ever meet Ryan?
I actually have no idea. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I'd want to. Like as the daughter, I'd be like, no, that's his life. Like I want him to have his own life.
Yeah.
I'd be curious, but
I know, and also I'm thinking like he was such a young kid, and she was probably
older. Yeah.
Much older.
Yeah.
I'm including some screenshots of some of the notes that I don't know if his mom took these notes or if the researcher took these notes, but there's just like a list of some of the things that Ryan shared. I'm going to rapid fire 47 facts.
Should have been 61.
Okay. Actually, I'm going to not read the ones that I've already read.
Okay.
He said he was very rich. He said there was a brick wall at his house. He said he brought coloring books home for his kids. He said that he had some boys that weren't his, but he gave them his name. So I think like his last name.
Yeah.
And they got remarried. He had trouble with his oldest stepdaughter. She wouldn't listen. She didn't respect him.
Specific.
Daughters, they leave an impact on you in the afterlife. His mother had curly brown hair. He bought his daughter a dog when she was about 6.
Oh.
She did not like the dog. He hated cats.
Okay, rude. Marty.
He had a green car. He didn't let anyone else drive the green car. He drove a nice black car, too. The agency he ran changed people's names, which is like creating
right. Even his own
stage names. He tap danced on stage. The stage was in New York City. He saw the world on big boats. He danced with pretty ladies. He in Chinatown a lot.
He loved Chinese food.
Yeah. He got skin burns in Hollywood. I don't know what that means.
Is that like, I feel like a cosmetic thing where they would...
Let's see.
In researching something for Crimes Of, I learned that people used to like extract arsenic and put it on their faces because it like lightened their skin.
Going on back then. Yeah. Yikes. Skin burns in old Hollywood were a hazard for actors and stunt performers.
Oh.
Basically from pyrotechnics and dangerous makeup, which makes sense when you think about like the Wizard of Oz and things like that,
right.
where everyone's just like constantly being poisoned.
Right.
He played piano. He took his girlfriends to the ocean. He had...
Girlfriends. I love that.
Girlfriends. He had many girlfriends. He knew Rita Hayworth. She made ice drinks. Bread was his favorite food. He had a pretty big sunglass collection. He was a smoker. He also had many affairs. He never had any problems getting ladies. He liked to watch surfers on the beach. He owned guns. He didn't have a TV when he was a little boy. He had a radio first. He hated FDR because he was a Democrat. You go to a room with numbers on the door before dying. Like a hospital room.
Oh, okay. I thought like before dying.
Yeah, before dying.
For some reason, I thought like your like spirit starts
or
to like
maybe.
go to
who knows?
Like a hallway.
He said, quote, "I'm not 5. I'm closer to 105," which if you did the math, when he said I'm closer to 105.
Yeah.
If Marty Martyn had been alive, he would have just turned 106. He died at age 61.
Whoa.
And then a couple of my favorite others, there were a couple more. He and George made films together, and he was friends with a cowboy guy that was in Night After Night. This cowboy did cigarette commercials. There was a scene in the movie in Night After Night where there was a closet full of guns, and Night After Night was about a guy who had been a boxer. The cowboy friend had a horse. He remembers a lot about his cowboy friend. His cowboy friend did a whole bunch of Westerns. He believed Teddy Roosevelt was the best president. Mayo was the guy that used to pay him to do movies.
I thought he was going to talk about mayonnaise.
I know. Mayo, I don't know. He said, quote, "Mommy, I can't wait until I get big again and I can go to those big fancy boats, wear fancy clothes, and dance with all the pretty ladies."
Sorry to disappoint you.
I know.
Life's not as magical.
And he also tried to teach his mom a dance that resembled a waltz.
Oh my God. I hope when Ryan gets married, he and his mom do the waltz as their father-daughter or mother-son dance.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing?
It'd be so cute.
Aww. So Dr. Tucker, in working with Ryan to collect all of his memories and then compare them with any written records of Marty Martyn's life, they were able, and of course, like there's plenty of memories that he has that there's no like actual
record
physical
of.
proof or
Yeah.
record of, but it revealed that over 55 details that Ryan provided were accurate, specific, matched Marty's life, and the majority of this information was not publicly available anywhere.
Damn.
This case would become one of Dr. Tucker's most compelling and widely cited investigations. And perhaps the most heartbreaking but beautiful part of the story is Ryan's reactions once his memories were validated. So Ryan's mother, Cindy, in doing a lot of her research to try to help Ryan when he was younger and he was struggling, she found other people online who had similar things happen to their kids, other parents of kids who believed that they had lived another life.
Right.
And a lot of these parents suggested, like, if you have the means to travel to the places that your kid is talking about, it does help bring them closure, it appears. So they did that. They traveled during the investigation when they were working with Dr. Tucker. They traveled to Hollywood and to places that related to Marty Martyn's life. And after this trip, memories started to fade a bit. And by age 9, all of the anxiety, all of the nightmares, the night terrors, the like sundowners memories seemed to stop. As if his soul just needed the closure, needed to recognize what happened to him, needed to be recognized as Marty Martyn. And now that that happened, Ryan could finally settle into the new life that he had, into life as Ryan Hammons. He stopped calling the Hammons his new family. He stopped asking.
What an honor as a mother to be like, finally, I'm not the new family. I'm finally just mom.
He stopped asking about his other mama. He stopped bringing up his death. And today, Ryan Hammons said he barely remembers any of it. But what is super amazing, and this kind of goes back to what you were talking about or asking, Ryan said he could feel things from Marty's life that Marty did not want to repeat.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm. So Marty was very greedy. He did a lot of time at work and schmoozing and like really focused on himself and his career. He had no time for his family and for his children.
And he also was having lots of affairs.
Yes. Yeah. So Ryan could feel how negatively that affected Marty and Marty's soul. And so Ryan was like, I feel this so strongly. And he said this when I think he was like 7 or 8 years old. He was like, I need to live my life without greed. I'm not greedy. So he's correcting the things that Marty potentially regretted most in his own life, a chance to do things differently.
That reminds me, Jacob Elordi, who is like everyone's crush right now, because Frankenstein and Euphoria, but he just seems like a good person. He did an interview recently where he was asked like, what's one thing like you wish about like people? And he said, I wish people felt more shame. Like he thinks the world would be a better place if people really had to feel the shame of their actions.
It's because the internet doesn't make you face yourself.
Right. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I really like that. You don't have to own your own, like, which is like similar ideology there. Don't be greedy and feel more shame.
So Ryan Hammond's case, Marty Martyn's case, has left a lasting impact on this research and the belief in past lives. Does a past life exist within a person, or does it simply exist all around? If a 4-year-old recalls the private life of a Hollywood agent who died decades earlier, where is that memory stored until then? Is consciousness local to the brain? Or is it something like a radio signal and the brain is just the receiver? Maybe the soul is bigger than just a single biography. Maybe consciousness is something ancient and vast, something that flickers through different lifetimes.
Agreed.
Cases like Ryan's are captivating. It makes death seem a little less scary because it seems like it's a transition, not an end. And we all have the opportunity to live again, to try again, to dream again, to love again.
To make mistakes again, to learn again.
Mm-hmm. And that is the reincarnation case of Ryan Hammons, a boy with the memories of an old Hollywood agent, Marty Martyn.
And Broadway tap dancer.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a beautiful story.
And it's so recent.
Yeah, so like we literally have Ryan amongst us.
Yeah.
And he just turned 21.
Ryan, where are you at? Actually, let me do a quick
Instagram search. Does he have a TikTok?
I was just like, should I look in our inbox? Like, what if we have Ryan Hammond? He doesn't listen.
Just because he's never emailed us.
Yeah, well, I was like, well, this would be a case that you would email us, right? Say, hey, I remembered my past life.
Okay, well, we do have so many listener stories about past lives that we should do an encounters that is all reincarnation.
Oh, we should.
Like, truly, it was so hard to pick because there are so many. Mm-hmm. But I did pick one. This is called Creepy Kid. 3-year-old recalls his past life in Hoboken, New Jersey.
That's great.
Hi, Corinne and Sabrina. I'm such a big fan, and I've been listening forever and have been a self-proclaimed ghost girl since elementary school. Hopefully, you have a Creepy Kid episode coming up that you can use because this is a story of some interesting snippets of a past life that my son has been bringing up over the past year or so. So my son just turned 3 in August. Let's call him E. He has a pretty unique name, so I'd like to keep it private. I've always said he's an old soul. The only song that could get him down was American Pie by Don McLean. I would sing the entire version, and in 8 minutes and 16 seconds, he'd be out. While we look nearly identical, E has curly, dirty blonde hair and bright blue eyes, and my husband and I have dark hair and dark eyes, so he looks more like my grandfather's side of the family. He has always been chatty, but around 2.5, he started to bring up some interesting, to say the least, memories that did not belong to him. So here are a couple snippets. We were eating dinner at my aunt's house. We're a tight-knit family from New Jersey, and we spend a lot of time together. But here's how the combo went. My son said, "This is my family." I said, "Yep, we're all here. This is your family." My son said, "Except for my daughter." And I said, "Who's your daughter?" My son said, "Amanda. She has yellow hair, and she lives in the sky." So one day, I'm giving him a bath. This is another snippet. And he starts to complain of his back pain. I keep asking him about it. Like, did he fall at daycare? Is something wrong? I'm looking for bruises, anything. And I ask, "Why does your back hurt?" He looks at me and goes, lifting all that ice.
No.
I ask, what? When were you lifting ice? For years. That's how we paid the rent. So
years of hard labor. It follows you into the next life.
Does.
How terrible.
So it looks like young men used to carry ice to apartments before modern day luxury of refrigerators. They would literally carry slabs of ice to kitchens. Another snippet. We were swimming at a resort pool for what felt like hours, and I'm begging him to get out. So I say, come on, let's get out and dry up. And he looks at me and says, yes, let's play Binkle Swish. I'm like, what? And he says, the game. And I'm like, okay, who taught you that game? He looks at me and says, Murray at the shop. We play all the time.
I love Murray
at the shop.
I love how it's just like some kids are like in the case of Ryan, where it's like he's kind of pained and confused by remembering this stuff. But this kid is just like, Murray, of course.
Right. Like he really just, it almost feels like he's not even recalling that this is a past life. He's like, no, like my past life is my current life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
you
still
don't
is.
remember Murray from the shop and all my hard labor with the ice? What the hell?
So I ask, who is Murray? And my son says, your cousin. So I look it up, and it seems like Binkle Swish is a version of Binkle, a card game played in the 40s and 50s. Swish is a faster hand. I'm trying to teach myself on YouTube before he forgets so I can play with him.
What? That is the coolest thing ever.
I know.
Think about that. Like to say that you got to play a card game with your son's past life.
Right. And it's not a game that any child would know. I've never heard of that before.
You should have him teach you.
So I'm not aware of any cousin named Murray, but I have my sister looking into it. Well, this part also makes me wonder if she was a part of his past life in some way too.
Right. Like it's lineage wise. It doesn't work with like their current line. But
we were getting coffee one morning and we're waiting in line, and the song Papa Loves Mambo comes on, and he starts swaying and says, I love this song. I used to dance to this in college. Now, we're huge fans of Sesame Street. The song goes, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? And
can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
So one day I overhear him playing and singing, can you tell me how to get to 11 Jackson Street? And I go, that's not our address, bud. And he goes, yes, I live in a small red house. So we have an address. He doesn't even know his own address, but he recalls his address from his past life. We don't have a Jackson Street in our town. Another snippet. Most recently, we were at a brewery and our group brought a speaker and an iPhone to jam. There were a few other kids and they were all requesting songs to sing and dance to. And he comes up to me and asks for his song and starts to sing, should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should all acquaintance be forgot and days of auld lang syne? We were all shocked. We put it on. My cousin put on the first one she found on Spotify, which was by Ingrid Michaelson. And he quickly said, no, not this one. He wanted the version by Guy Lombardo. My family stares in shock as he knew every single word. I don't have video of him at the brewery. We were so in shock and didn't even think to tape it. However, I asked him to sing it again later that night, and the video is attached. I've started doing research into my family history with the help of my sister, and I know that my grandfather had a cousin named Amanda, who he was very close to. And Amanda was like the name of the daughter. Mm-hmm. They lived in Hoboken, New Jersey, where there is a Jackson Street. Since he had mentioned we're cousins, it may be a viable lead. So is it possible that my son is my grandfather's uncle? We're planning to take him to Hoboken to see if anything comes up. But yeah, I really wanted to share my creepy kid story. Love the pod. See you on the other side, Justine.
Oh my God.
And this was sent to us in October. So it's an ongoing past life experience.
I'm so curious too, if you did go to any like historian from Hoboken, if you could like figure out in like the 40s and 50s, the shop that Murray worked at.
I know.
Because like it probably isn't that anymore. It's probably some like swanky restaurant or something.
Right, because there's no ice shops now, like not like that.
Yeah, but like where was that? Where was the ice shop?
Hoboken does, I feel like, have a lot of its heritage still in place. Like they have like old signs and like old painting on the bricks that doesn't apply to what the stores are now, but they kind of like pay homage to the past. Okay, so I'm going to play.
So cool.
I'll play a couple seconds of this video. We're not going to put the video in to not show the face of the kid. Yeah.
Oh.
He's eating a snack while singing.
Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I feel like he provided so many details.
So many.
Like, what I love with this is you feel like you can get a sense of his personality before.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's coming through.
100%.
So cool. God, I hope Noah has some memories.
Okay, I'm just going to read one more. It's a short one.
Okay, yeah, because I love this too much.
Okay. This is also it's from Jess. It's a creepy kid with a past life story. Hey ladies, Furry Princess and Sven. I have no idea if you read my previous email as I'm not listening in order. We do email you when we read your story. But I'm currently at work listening to episode 191 and I work at Amazon overnights. As many know, that can be painfully boring. So I listen to y'all. People walking by, seeing everything from me laughing to bawling my eyes out with your stories. Okay, but now my story, or my daughter's story. My daughter, Nova, who will be 8 on January 23rd, that was 2023, but she used to tell everyone the river story. Now, I know kids tell weird stories, but she literally told this to everyone for a few years, and it started when she was only about 2.5 years old, and really started to talk in small sentences. My sister caught on about her telling everyone, so she asked me about it, and I told her I thought it was just a dream she had. But then my sister was like, let's sit her down. So we decided to sit her down for more details. So this is the story from Nova's perspective from 2.5 years old, completely unprompted. I was walking by the river and I fell in. Then the alligator came out and chomped me away. Here are the list of questions we asked her about the story and her answers. We said, was this a dream? No, Mommy, it really happened. When did it happen? Before I came to you. How did you come to Mommy? I was born. Can you describe the river? There were lots of trees and the ocean was on the other side of the river. I asked, who was with you? And Nova said, my sister. I asked if her sister helped. And Nova said, she tried, but the water was I asked, what was the weather like? She said, sunny and hot. Ladies, my dad is from a huge family in southeast Georgia. It's all swampland and there are lots of gators. So I'm curious.
That's what I was just thinking. I was like, okay, somewhere between like Georgia and North Carolina.
Yeah. So I'm curious if she's a reincarnated family member. She did stop telling the story around 5 years old. And now when asked, she doesn't remember the story or any of its details.
Wow.
I just had another baby in April and I had a baby girl. So I'm dying to find out if she says anything similar or if my oldest will have more details since the baby is here. I love you ladies and wanted to thank you for giving us all a safe space to share our stories. If I can't see you on this side, but I hope to, then I'll see you on the other side. Love, Jess.
I mean, again, like a traumatic death.
Right.
And you just recall your death in the next life.
Chomp me away.
Chomp. And the ocean, like the water going, it like not to be extra grim, but like it reminds me of like the alligator, like when they do like the barrel roll, right? Like where the water does feel like it's like all around you because you're being.
It's like dangerous.
It's the death
yeah.
roll. Oh. Yeah.
What a terrible way to go.
I know.
I mean, death is scary, but it's not the end. And I think
it's not the end.
The message of this episode.
Yeah.
And our podcast.
La la la.
And
Life
merry holidays. And if you have ghost stories, please email them to us at twogirlsoneghostpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you're an alien deep within the void and you want to come visit,
abduct me.
Beam Sabrina up. Just say, would you like to play a game?
And I'll say, sure.
Yes.
Sure. Why not? Fuck around and find out, which is what I'm all about and Corinne is not.
Yeah.
Corinne is
boundaries.
Safety. But join us on Patreon if you want episodes 1 week early and ad-free, plus bonus episodes, plus campfire stories, plus witch class, plus book club, plus stickers, and holiday cards.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Our holiday cards are coming out soon.
They should be in the mail by the time this comes out.
Yes, that's true.
We love you all. Thank you to our editor, Jamie, and thank you to our producer, Emma. We're so grateful. Couldn't do it without all of you. And thank you to all of you for listening.
We love you. And we will see you on the other side.
Very spooky.